Hi guys, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showing you how I clad my DIY sauna that you can see on screen right now. So this was a relatively simple process, and the first job is just to make sure that I've got the right measurement for the cladding itself, and I'm going to check all the way around the building here just to make sure that everything is the same length. It should be, because all the walls were exactly the same height, but it's always worth double checking these things. So I'm just going to go around every corner first and give it a quick measure. Once I'm happy with that, I can move onto this enormous pile of cladding here. And the good news is, because everything's the same length, it's just one cut length that I need to be doing just over and over again. And as you can see here, I've got a few little piles to the right of me where I'm adding the cladding. Now, these piles are very specific. Some are better quality than others, and that's going to determine which cladding goes on the front of the building and the stuff that goes on the back out of sight. So the first job is really the only difficult job here, and that is actually getting a nice cut around the doorway. So we want to obviously have an opening where the cladding goes around the door. So the first job here was to cut a piece of the cladding. I'm removing the groove here, and I'm just taking off a certain amount that will allow me to fit it, and then following this add a second piece of cladding that I'll actually have a cut around the door itself. So once I'm happy with this, I'm just going to put it in place, put a couple of fixings in, then I'm going to grab my level and just make sure that it's perfectly level, because obviously we want it to be nice and plumb. Once I'm happy with that, I can just add a few more fixings into it with the pin gun. I would recommend as well, if you're using a pin gun to do your cladding, try and use stainless steel. It is going to last longer for the fixings, and they're not going to rust obviously. So the next piece here is going to be a cut. This is going to be the only cut that I actually have to do around the door. And again, this has kind of been done on purpose. So you can see me marking it up now, but this actual piece that cuts out will enable me to have a full piece on the left-hand side. So you maybe don't know exactly what I'm on about, but you will see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I'm just going to mark out the top and bottom of the opening there, and also just measure the width now from the edge of that last piece of cladding to the edge of the door opening, and mark that on the cladding. Following that, I can take this over to the workbench, mark this up a little bit better, and then start cutting this out. So to mark it out, I'm just going to join the pencil marks up that I added there with a level and a pencil. I'm also going to get my square and just mark those smaller cuts that I need to do at the top and bottom. Then following that, I'm just going to give it a quick little measure just to make sure everything's right. I don't want to end up having to do this twice. And then I can go grab my handsaw to do the initial cuts here for those smaller cuts at the top and bottom. So very simple, just cut straight down the line and go to the larger long line. Following that, I'm going to use the circular saw, and I'm going to kind of use it a little bit like a plunge saw. I'm just going to manually lift the guard there. And I'm starting way in front of the line, and I'm going to finish way before the end of the line as well. And the reason for this is I don't want to go straight through it and make a mess of it, so I'm just going to finish it off with the handsaw here. And you can see what's going to happen now. I'll just flip it around, do the other side, finish that cut, and you can see we have that lovely little cut around the door opening now. I'm just going to finish that off with the block plane here, just take any little rough edges off, just tidy that up, and once I'm happy, we can take that over and fit it in place. Okay, so as you can see, this is just going to slot over. The groove there is just going to slot nicely over the tongue from that last piece of cladding. It just needs a little bit of a tap just to get that in. Obviously it's a little bit flimsier than a full piece of cladding, so I'm trying to be careful. I really don't want to snap this. But once I've got it in, I can just add a few fixings, and this is secured nicely in place. Okay, so once that's done, we can move on to adding these top pieces. So these are just small pieces that are going to also sort of frame that top piece. Very straightforward, just all the same length. Cut these, couple of fixings, and then once that's done, we can do exactly the same thing on the bottom. And what we're going to end up with here is, as you can see, the top pieces of cladding there are right on the edge of that door opening, and also the bottom pieces are going to finish in exactly the same place. And that means we're going to be able to slot over another piece of cladding to finish that door. So we only had to cut the piece on the right hand side. We could have been in a situation where we had to cut both sides, but because I kind of measured it this way, and this is the way that I wanted to do it, it just seemed easier. I only want to cut once, right? And it also works out better for getting myself to the other corner as well without having to do another cut. So rather than doing 3 cuts, I'm only having to do 1 cut. And once this is done, this really is the most complicated bit. We are on to kind of the easiest bit of the job. Every single piece of cladding is exactly the same length, and it's just a case of slotting the tongue and groove together, then nailing into the timber battens and just checking with the level occasionally. So it's really not that complicated. I've got to say, this is probably one of the easiest bits of the job, and the great thing about it is it's one of those parts of the job where it's really easy, but it is really quite transformative. You know, it makes a really, really big difference. So the way I'm fixing these is I'm fixing through the tongue. So these are going to be hidden nails, and I'm fixing into every one of those horizontal battens that you can see. There is 5 in total, one at the bottom, one at the top, and then 3 in the middle. So every single board has 5 fixings, and then the groove slots into the tongue, and essentially the nails that are already in the previous tongue will hold the groove back. So effectively it's fixed on both sides, even though it's officially only fixed on one. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so once we've done the side, I can move on to the back, exactly the same process, and there you go. You can see how this looks when I've got all the way around now. So obviously I didn't show you doing down this side. The main reason for that is you don't need to see me doing every single cladding board. Also, it's really narrow down there, so it wasn't that easy to film. It wouldn't have been that interesting to watch, I'm sure, either. But as you can see, it's looking pretty decent at this point, and the only thing we need to do right now is to tidy those corners up. Obviously we do have some gaps and it looks a little bit rough on the corners, but thankfully I already have something that I've purchased for this. I got this with the cladding, and these are specifically designed for the corners. As you can see, there are 2 pieces that essentially slot together like a male and a female part. And once these do go together, you can see now they create a really nice corner profile that just covers up any of that sort of gaps or pins that we've used on the corners. So first things first, I'm just going to cut these to length. Once they're cut to length, I'm going to use a little bit of wood glue, put that down the groove there, slot them both together. I'm going to use a few pins just to hold it in place while the glue goes off, and then I'm going to give it a little plane with the planer to take all those sharp edges off, ready to fit in place. Once that's done, I can take it over, put it in the right position, and it's just a case of adding a few nails to hold this in place. You could use an adhesive, but you know, if you want to take this off and repair it or replace it for any reason, you know, you don't really want it stuck in place. And you can see the gym behind me there on the corner. I used exactly the same corner profiles, and they've been there for 2 years with absolutely no problem. So nails are completely adequate. And there you go, guys. That's how it's going to look once it's finished. Obviously, you don't need to see me do every single corner, but yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think the cladding looks good? And also, if you want to see the rest of this sauna build, make sure you subscribed, comment down below, like the video, and I will see you in the next one, guys.